a long time. We just know it better than anyone else.
For Texans, it's all about the beef. And if Central Texas is known as the brisket belt, then Austin is its buckle. And Austin just happens to be the battleground for what Texas Monthly calls the most heated barbecue feud in America today. The battle between the legendary John Miller and his protege, Aaron Franklin.
I worked at John's place here in Austin several years ago for about a year and a half. He does his thing, I do my thing.
I'm not in this to be second.
It's a good old-fashioned Texas showdown, and the story of this finger-licking feud begins right here at the hottest barbecue joint in town. Franklin Barbecue has only been around since 2009, but already it's so popular that by 9 a.m. most mornings, the line snakes down the ramp and out into the parking lot.
Supposedly the best in Austin, so we had to hit it up. It's phenomenal. It's the best I've ever had.
I've heard it converts vegetarians, okay?
What these meatheads are willing to wait hours for is a shot at some of the juiciest, smokiest beef brisket around. And owner and pitmaster Aaron Franklin is ready to accommodate them.
What we're doing here is Central Texas barbecue, all about salt and pepper on meat, watching the fires, and just cooking it right.
Great brisket is moist and sweet on the inside with a firm crust called bark on the outside. To make it right, you have to start with a great cut of meat, and Franklin has the best beef you can buy.
These are the most hardcore, all-natural stuff we can get, and it's really absurdly expensive, and we don't charge for this quality of meat.
A full brisket is really two different cuts of beef in one. The first more lean like a savory sirloin, the other layered in luscious fat.
But we're going to get this thing rubbed down. Half pepper, half salt. Real complicated stuff.
To keep all portions of the meat moist and tender, cooking a great brisket requires exact temperature control and a keen sense of timing.
We use offset smokers. We only use post-oak. There's never any chemicals. Woo! Wait! So I'll throw this thing on. That one will probably take about 15 hours, 16 hours. Now we shut the door.
After 16 hours, the pitmaster opens the smoker to reveal his mouth-watering creation. For many, the very definition of what great brisket should look, feel, and smell like.
The color's just about right on them. You know, getting kind of dark. You know, they got plenty of smoke on them. They're certainly tender. I can tell by picking it up, it feels right. So, I'd say they're good to go.
Brisket, please.
Get ready.
For Franklin's eager customers, the party truly begins the moment his knife slices into the brisket, and he starts to pile high some of the best barbecue they've ever had.
It's a lean or fatty brisket?
Whatever you recommend.
Oh, hey-oh.
With the wait over, people of all kinds give in to a shared anticipation of the brisket beef buzz that awaits.
You stand in line, you make friends, you get closer to the meat, and just you're like, oh, look at it, oh, there it is.
It sucks just a little bit being able to smell it and not eat it yet, but I'm looking forward to my opportunity.
I bought 14 pounds of brisket and 4 pounds of sausage for my coworkers.
Look at that. Oh my God.
I think we'll be eating barbecue for a while. You don't need this. The brisket's fantastic. It's smoky, but not too smoky. Rich, moist. That's to die for.
Brisket is the star of the menu, but Franklin is also known for having world-class ribs, sausage, pulled pork, and even turkey.
The turkey's kind of a sleeper on the menu. It's super flavorful, super buttery, really, really juicy.
Way better than grandma's.
They also make a variety of fresh sauces every day.
Well, this is our main sauce. This is really intended for brisket or beef. This is the espresso sauce. So it's got espresso, ketchup, it's got apple cider vinegar in it. It's really, really earthy. It goes really good with all the pepper.
That's the espresso sauce. Oh, it's amazing, yeah. The espresso barbecue sauce is so good. It makes everything come together.
This is just a real basic Texas sweet sauce. It's heavy on the chili powder. It's pretty heavy on the cumin. It's got a pretty good amount of brown sugar in it. This is what people think of when they think of a Texas sauce.
Sauced or not, everyone agrees that Franklin's barbecue is worth the wait.
Somebody waits in line for 4 hours. It better be good. It better be perfect.
We landed on the moon, and then this guy made barbecue. It's making my toes curl. Just put it this way. Given all this time, I'm going to heaven. That's right.
Even though Aaron cooks up to 1,400 pounds of meat a day, by around 2 p.m., it's all gone. And with the long lines now forgotten, everyone agrees Franklin's is a barbecue experience like no other.
Welcome, Mr. Frank. Strange
Aaron Franklin may be the king of Austin barbecue today, but less than 3 miles away, the man who used to own this town is aiming to retake his throne.
I'm John Mueller, owner of J. Mueller BBQ, home of the best barbecue in Texas.
John Mueller was born with barbecue in his blood. And like his rival Aaron Franklin, Mueller plays for keeps when it comes to his signature smoked beef brisket.
I don't think there's many people that are better. I think my dad was better, and that's about it.
I eat a lot of barbecue in Central Texas, which is the best place to eat barbecue. Mueller's has always been the best of it.
I don't know how you get the bark the way that you do. Nobody gets bark like this. To be this peppery, this thick, it's very good.
Like Franklin, Miller's mouth-watering brisket begins with the same Texas brand Post Oakwood and a simple salt and pepper rub. But that's where the similarities end. Because while Franklin slow smokes his brisket for 16 hours, Mueller finishes cooking his in half the time.
It takes about 8 hours from the beginning. A lot of people can do what they call smoking. I barbecue. I cook everything hot and fast. Oh, there you go.
Though it's hard to tell from this no-frill setup, John Mueller comes from a Texas barbecue dynasty and once served the most popular brisket in Austin. He was forced to close his old restaurant in 2006 after some bad business decisions. And when his smokers were put up at auction, one of them was bought by his former employee, Aaron Franklin.
This is the infamous smoker, I suppose. This is the one I got from John Mueller. It was in terrible condition. I welded the door shut, had to change the smokestack. It was a cheap way to get started.
When he first opened, he was brand new. Nobody knew who he was. And it's a good selling point to say this was John Mueller's kit.
Fueled by his passion for barbecue and his competitive spirit, John Mueller has fired up a new smoker. And with constant lines outside his trailer, it's clear Austin is in for a beef brisket battle royale.
I actually read the article in the Texas Monthly, the way the Franklin guy worked for him at one point and then the barbecue pit. This is definitely better than Franklin's.
All right, thank you.
We came back in with a bang. Started selling out from day one. Especially with Twitter, social media, and all that. Things just explode.
I get a brisket sandwich. Melts in your mouth. It's perfect. And it's the best I've ever had.
Mueller is so confident his barbecue is the best that he's even challenged his old employee and fiercest competitor to a good old-fashioned cook-off.
Anytime he wants to have it happen, we'll do it.
I've heard a lot about the rivalry between Franklin's and Mueller's, and at the end of the day, it's a win-win for us customers. They can fight it out. It's both amazing barbecue. Keep going back and forth. Who's going to outdo each other each day? Not too shabby.
When we return, we head north